Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be making some Indian naan bread. So this is a very delicious, kind of similar to a tortilla if you've never had it. So you should really enjoy it. I've already gotten kitchen ready. I have my hat on, my apron on, and my hands are washed. And I'm going to pause the video real quick. Today we're going to need some yeast. You're going to need warm water. Some sugar, not a lot if you're having to ration sugar. This recipe doesn't call so much. And we're gonna need some flour and salt, some yogurt, canola oil, and butter. Then to our tools, we're going to need a liquid measuring cup, measuring spoons, a large bowl, dry measuring cups, a wooden spoon. It calls for a cutting board, but I'm going to use this. A small microwave safe bowl. Forgot to get that one out. Okay. So a microwave safe bowl, a rolling pin. I forgot to get that one too. I will get that. A pastry brush, a large skillet, and a spatula. Okay. Our first step is we need to add the yeast, warm water, and sugar to a large bowl. So our recipe calls for 1 packet of rapid rise yeast. If you don't have packets of yeast, but you have a container, that is going to be 2 1/4 teaspoons. Now, because I'm going to actually double the recipe to make enough for my whole family, so I'm going to be putting in more, but here we go. We've got 1, 2, I'll do it the right way for you guys, and 1/4. And now since I'm gonna double it here, I'm gonna go 2 more and another 1/4. But you only have to do the first amount unless you're also doubling. Okay, warm water, so we need 1/4 cup. Set it down, check it, let it kind of settle. Still not there. Okay. 1/4 cup. And then tonight, since I'm going to double it, I'm going to add another 1/4 cup. Okay. All right. And then the sugar. It calls for 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Put 1/2 teaspoon in. And then I'm doubling. Now, if you wanted to double and you could actually turn this into a bunch of math problems, which is actually a really good way to do that. So, if we were to have done that as a math problem, let's see, so if we went 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast times 2, so we know that we'd have to go 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4, which is 1/2. And then 2 plus 2 is 4, so we would have needed 4 1/2 teaspoons of yeast. We're stirring until the yeast is all right. Step 2 is add flour, a teaspoon of salt, and the yogurt. All right. So for flour, it calls for 1 and oops. All right. So 1 cup. Okay, so we're just gonna start adding that in. It's good to kind of try to stir as you go. So there's our flour. 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and then we're doubling, so 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 teaspoons of salt in. Unless you're not diluting, then just do 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of salt. And the yogurt calls for a half a cup of it. It says peony yogurt. I only have vanilla yogurt, so we're gonna have vanilla yogurt. It calls for half a cup. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 2/2, which is 1 whole. Okay. There's my yogurt. Stir until the dough comes together. Okay. Now, step 3 is we're going to turn the dough onto a lightly floured surface and knead it. So this is where they have the cutting board, but we're going to use this rolling mat. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more water to mine because it's just super crumbly. But I want to do so slowly because we don't want to get it too wet. There we go. That's better. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're just kneading it. So you're going to take your dough and you push down and forward, pick it up and turn it, fold it, and you just kind of keep turning, folding. Okay, and that is how you do it. It says that you want to do this until it's smooth. It says in our recipe that it can take 5 to 10 minutes. So just keep working at it until you get it smooth. I might have to add a little bit of flour now because it actually is getting well worked. I'm starting to stick a little bit. So if you want to just lightly flour the board if you need to. We are done kneading. We're going to take our dough, set it in the bowl, and then it says that you need to cover it with a towel and let rise in a warm area for 20 minutes. So, cover it with a towel. And our whole kitchen's fairly warm, so I'm going to start a timer for 30 minutes. And I'm going to clean up some of this mess and we'll be back in 30 minutes. All right, 30 minutes are up. Make sure that you are still kitchen ready. So if you left the kitchen, make sure you rewash your hands, get your hat on, your apron on. Okay, let's get started. Step 5, we need to heat our oil, our butter, and a half teaspoon of salt in a microwave safe bowl. Okay, so they called for 2 tablespoons of oil. 1,
2,
and 2. Okay. I still have all my dishes from the hummus in the sink. I'm gonna have a lot of dishes to do here in a second. Okay. And our butter, it's 2 tablespoons of butter. There you go. 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay. And a half teaspoon of salt. All right. And we're gonna microwave it for about 30 seconds. does that, let's check our dough. Okay, we've got a little bit of rise going. That's good. Now our recipe says we're going to divide the dough into 4 equal pieces and then roll each piece into a ball. Now we doubled it, so 4 plus 4 is 8. So we're actually going to need 8 balls out of this. And I'm going to put just a little bit of flour down here. Okay. Get our stuff from the microwave. Ooh, it's all nice and melted. Very good. Just stir that up a little bit. All right, so we need to divide this into 8. All right, steal a little from this one to add to this one. Okay, and then it says we need to roll them into balls, so just like you would with plate. All right, there we go. We have our 8. There we go. 8 balls of dough. Kind of spread them out here so I have more space. Rolling pin. Roll these out. All right, I'm gonna just do one real quick and then I'll go back and do the rest. And the one thing I'm gonna point out in step 9 is we are supposed to heat up our skillet over medium heat. I'm gonna turn that on so it can start heating up. It's supposed to take 1 minute to heat. Okay, now stepping back to step 8, we're gonna use this mixture. You're gonna wanna just kind of put a nice layering over your naan bread. Our timer has gone off, our pan is warm. Being careful not to burn yourself, you're gonna pick it up. The side that you put your mixture on is gonna be down. And then you're gonna take more of the mixture and put it on this upside. Okay, if you have a griddle, that would work great for this. So we did that, we lightly buttered it. Okay, we're gonna cook until top is bubbling and bottom is brown. So it says it should take about 1 minute. So we're still at the timer. 1 minute. Okay. So I gave it about an extra minute. We're starting to get bubbles on the top now. The bottom's looking brown. We're gonna go ahead and flip it. Okay, flip, and it says to cook for 30 seconds to a minute. I'm gonna give it another minute. Mostly because my timer doesn't have 30 seconds. All right, and it's done. I should have made that a little thinner, so I went ahead and rolled this one a little bit more to get it a little bit thinner. See if I can get the gravity to help. And let it do its thing. You're gonna repeat this with all 4 or all 8. And that's how it's done. Now, if you went ahead and make the hummus too, you'll have the hummus and you'll have the naan bread, and it's gonna be a great little treat. Have a good day.